also talk about another state corporation, because after almost 2 years of piloting, the Electricity Company of Ghana has fully operationalized its cashless payment system and is no longer receiving cash payments at all of its 300 ECG offices across the country. Customers now requiring to either purchase power or pay their bills will be required to either make a digital payment via mobile money or you'd have to do that at the bank. Let's bring in Fred Bimbo Johnson. He speaks for the Electricity Company of Ghana for the Accra West region. Thank you, Fred, for your time. Let's start off with this innovation. Why go cashless at this time?
You, Blessed, and thanks for having me. So the ECG has been on a drive to go digital with most of our operations for a while now. So there are several introductions we've made in some of the softwares we use. Now, one key introduction we've had or we've made in the past 2 years was the introduction of a mobile app, which we call the ECG Power App. And what we've been doing over the period is that even though we had a system which had introduced this, we had always told our customers that this app was on a pilot basis. So over the period, we have been taking some reviews from our customers on their challenges as far as they use this app. We've generally been collating these and working on them. Now, thankfully, we have a very enhanced and new mobile app out, and this app is able to help customers to do so many things which they couldn't do in the past. So now, aside you being able to transact with us from the comfort of your home,
right,
you are also able to use several payment platforms. So if you have a MasterCard, if you have a Visa, if you have a mobile money wallet, you're able to now transact with us. Through this app, you're able to check your transaction history and your consumption history as well. Now, if you have any complaints or if you have any faults through this app, you're able to now communicate with us. And interestingly now also, there are some instances where some customers use the app to transact, don't get the credit on their meters. Now this app makes it possible for you to seek a refund of the amount that's been deducted in such an instance. So it's new and it's enhanced. And once this is ready, it means that we can now launch our full program of going digital. And that means that ECG now is not accepting cash payments in many of our offices.
Yeah, but
you need to buy credit.
But you've tried this before. And the last time there was some challenge of a sort where we saw a system shut down. Are you anticipating that some of these challenges may happen again? Because this is new.
Well, so there are two different issues. Now, we had a technical pitch, but that wasn't to do with the payments platform.
Right.
But with this one, all we are saying is that whatever it says that you as a customer would come to our office to do, whether you are coming to buy credits onto your prepaid meter, you are going to pay for bills, your postpaid bills, you can actually do this in the comfort of your home. So you don't need to come to our office to do this. Once you have the ECG app, you're able to do that on there, and it's easy to download either from Play Store or from the App Store. Or you can also use the *226# hash. *226# hash, that also gives you access. Now, if you, for any reason, have to come to our office to transact with us, you're seeing that now we are not taking cash. You'll have to deal with us through the mobile money wallet. So regardless of the network you're on, whether you're on Airtel, Tigo, Vodafone, or MTN, once you come in there, you'll have to have your cash on this electronic platform, and then you'll be able to transact with us. So we're not doing cash payments, and we've now moved totally towards digital payments now.
Okay, so let's be clear on this. If someone has cash and brings it to your office, the implication is that you're not going to accept that. Correct?
Well, the implication is that we're going to advise you to load that onto your mobile money wallet, and then you'll be able to transact with you. But we are trying to reduce the level of human interaction or interference when it comes to cash receivables. And also, there are other risks are available when it comes to dealing with cash. So it's something we are trying to deal with. Also, as a company, one thing we are trying to do with this arrangement is to make sure that our revenue collection and mobilization exercise is really more effective. And once we are going digital, it means that we're able to monitor it very well, know what comes in, whether there are any loopholes, So if you came in with cash, we would walk you through the process and advise you to load that onto your mobile money wallet before you can make payments to us.
Your services are nationwide, at least most parts of the country. We have the Electricity Company of Ghana operating there. And you know that includes some rural communities where the people may not be conversant with the technicalities or the digital platform that you've created. How are you making up for that? Are you assigning some officers to create more awareness, or how do you make up for those who are not, of course, savvy in terms of going about the application?
Well, we factored all these in our rollout. So what we've done is we've trained all our staff in all district offices. So if you walk into any of our offices and you have any challenge with either downloading the app, with using the short code, or generally with using any of our systems, these staff would help you through it. So for those who are not able to either download the app or have it on their phones, or even use the short code, then you treasury executives will walk you through the process of payment. So there's nothing to worry about. Any issues you have, any concerns you have, in all our offices, we have help desks set up. And these officers, they are trained to assist our customers through this new phase of payment we've introduced.
Okay, so if you're completely going cashless, now there's the issue about some of the customer expectations that you'd be dealing with, because customers or your clients out there will definitely have concerns in terms of clarity and how to go about their activities. Do you intend to meet the general public, or perhaps carry out some sort of sensitization or awareness, or some sort of public fora just to educate the public on some of these new features that the application will have, and some of the services that people can access?
Well, so as I mentioned, this is just the first week of implementation. So there's a grand plan for our rollout. But as part of the groundwork we are doing, as I said, we have a help desk available in all our offices. So for any customer who walks in there, we are not going to be stranded. Not only are we giving you information on exactly what we are doing now, we're also going to walk you through how to either get the app on your phone. We'll help you out if it's the short code you could use. Because the thing with the short code is that if you don't have a smartphone, it means you cannot have the app on your phone. And so in this case, you are allowed to then have the short code, which is *226#. It works just like the app, and then you're able to transact with us. If for any reason at all you're not able to use any of these, then it means that officers they would have to use the system to send you a prompt which would authorize the payment for whatever transaction you are there to do. So we have enough help in our various offices. We also have a plan to engage various stakeholders and just, and it's something that's ongoing.
In the event that you have these platforms going down, and of course someone has that happening beyond or at a time when the banking halls are not open, for instance, that could create a challenge in terms of having access to power. You agree?
Well, it's obviously will be a challenge, but what we've done over the period is we've been slow in getting to that point, and it's because we've tried to tie all the loose ends before announcing that. So as a company, we have a team that's on standby. At any point that there's any challenge, we will hope to be able to bring it back as soon as possible. But for now, based on the technical reports we have and the assurances we have, it should be a smooth run for us.
Since this is customer oriented, I'm being prompted now that the phone lines will be on the screen so that a few people could, of course, calling in and just ask for clarity on this new feature or this new decision that you've taken to go cashless. But how is this also generally, while we wait for a few calls to come through, how is this going to feed into the general efficiency and operations of the electricity company of Ghana?
Well, you know that for a while now, we've been on a drive to improve our revenue mobilization. Over the past 1 month, we came to various communities and into various homes, attempting to collect all the debts that were owed us. As a company, we retrieved about 3.1 billion Ghana cedis out of the 5.7 billion. And that's, as part of that drive, yes, internally, we are seeking to use this to make our revenue collection even more effective. Just to also add to it, after the campaign we just ended, for the last week of every month, as a company, we are going to come out into all communities to again check out for persons who are engaged in illegality. So if there's anyone in your community, in your area, in your hood, who is engaged in an illegality, the advice is that alert us so that once we come, we're able to fish them out. But otherwise, all staff will be on the field as well.
Okay.
And as we did.
Right. I understand Fidelis is joining us. Fidelis, why are you
Hello?
calling us from? Yes, and what's your question, briefly?
Okay, I'm calling from Kwau
Okay.
in the Eastern region. I've been following the conversation and I'd like to find out what of interior communities that do not even have access to network, how do they intend to go past that challenge too?
Okay, Fidelis, maybe you're now tuning in, so I'll let Fred deal with that. We'll pick a few more callers. Okay, so Fred, just let's quickly deal with that whilst we'll pick up other calls. But you can also call with the numbers that you have on the screens now. The issue about communities, for instance, he's calling from the Eastern region, concerned about those in the rural areas.
I don't know if I got it clear, but he was asking if there are communities without.
Yes, for instance, there are communities without network. You know, or aside the digital platform, you're saying that you can pay through Momo. He's saying that what if there's a network challenge in some of these rural areas? That's his question.
Well, so what I would say is if there are any peculiar issues, customers just need to go to our offices. You know, I mentioned that we set up help desks in all our offices across the country. We have over 300 offices. So where there are any peculiar issues to do with any particular location, please don't hesitate to be in our office, and then we have our staff who are trained and who will take you through.
Okay, Benjamin is also joining us. Ben, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, in the cashless, does it accept smart ECG or postpaid or prepaid?
Okay, you're asking if this will apply to prepaid customers or postpaid. That's your question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Fred, what's the response to that?
So the Power App, as we have it, actually is for all customers. Now, if you're a smart prepaid user or customer, you're able to use the app to buy credits directly onto your meter. If you're a postpaid user, what you're able to use the app to do is that you're able to pay from the convenience of your home, your office, wherever you are, with this app. Now, for persons who are not on the smart meters, they cannot use the app to buy directly on. But what we are saying now is, before they would have had to come to our office, use cash to pay for the transaction for us to give them to sell the power to them. That's where we are saying now. If you came or if you come to our office, we are going to sell this power to you, but then we are not taking cash because we want cashless. We have to pay with mobile money wallets. So for users of our smart meters, yes, you can use the app to buy directly onto your meters without coming to our office. And anytime I mention the app, I also meant.
Hello, Fred. Okay, we'll reconnect with Fred shortly. But Nana Prempe is also giving us a code now from Kumasi. Nana Prempe, what's your question?
Yeah, please, I would like to ask whether the cashless payment applies to the private vendors, private vendors of the prepaid electricity. I would like to know.
Okay, you're asking if this will apply to the vendors.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're the one selling the power, what then happens to you? That's the question you're asking. Okay, so Fred is on with us. Fred, just as you, of course, we lost you briefly on the last point you're making, but then as you address that, there's a question now about the vendors. What then happens to the vendors? Are you going to deal with them on a cash basis? Because these are people who deal with quite a large sum of money.
Well, when it comes to vendors, they are third parties and they are working outside our system. Basically, this communication is to the effect that if you come to our offices, and I mentioned that we have over 300 offices started across our operational areas. In those offices, we are not taking cash. But obviously, once you go to private vendors, these are persons who have bought the power and who are selling. And so they are allowed to take the cash. But for the system we are using, we are not accepting cash again in our offices. So once you come, first of all, most of the transactions we do, as I've been saying throughout, it's easy and it's possible for you to do that without even coming to our office. But if there is a need for you to come to our office to transact, then you have to do that in a cashless mode. But for the vendors, they can't take the cash because they are private.
Okay, Fred, let's just do two last calls and then we'll wrap it up. Maxwell is joining us from Lakeside. Maxwell, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, it's been a while now. Some of we, the customers, are are unable to check prepaid balance. And more or less, whenever you go to a vendor, they tell you maybe they can't check your balance for you. So I want him to rectify or maybe give us a clue what's going on, because some of the vendors are not able to check on our balance for us, meaning they want you to buy more instead of checking your balance before you make any payment.
Okay, Maxwell, Fred.
I'm struggling to hear the question.
Yes, so his question is about checking prepaid balances. It's becoming a challenge for some of them using the application because he feels that the vendors want you to buy more, a reason for which they're not allowing you to check your balance.
Well, if you want to check your balance, as I mentioned, this enhanced app allows you to do so. So it gives you a history of your it gives you a history of your balance, of your transaction and all. So it's one of the new and enhanced feature of this new app. So you're able to do that on the app. I think he mentioned that vendors are not able to allow them.
Yes.
If I heard him right.
Yeah, that's the point he's making.
Yes, if you want such information, you would easily get it from our district offices. So you may want to visit the office if you want to say a history of your consumption. If you don't get it through the app, or if you don't use the app to get it, but otherwise, the app allows you to get this history, and then also at our various district offices.
Yeah, but in this case, how about postpaid?
How about who?
Postpaid meters.
Well, for postpaid, how it works is that we give you a bill and then you pay for it. And so once you get your bill, you're able to then pay for this bill through the app. And so you have to have a certain bill you are paying for. But previously, if you had your bill, you may have had to come to our office to now to make those payments. And we are saying you don't need to go through the traffic, join a queue just to pay a bill. You can use your app and then make those payments to us, and it'll reflect it in your account the next time we send you a bill. So immediately reflects in your account, but once we send you a new bill, you will see that you've actually recognized those payments on your account.
Okay.
Also, we are working closely with banks, and so you can also walk into any bank if you have a check and make a payment over there for ECG, and it will take you through the process, because our payment platforms have been tied in with all the commercial banks. And that makes it possible for you to make payments to ECG through the banks.
Let's do the very last caller, Samson, joining us from Taifa. Samson, what's your question?
I want to ask, with regards to the app, we tried to download and try to do the payment on Saturday, but it couldn't work. And we tried yesterday. We even went to the office to solve the issue. And if you want to pay through mobile money too, they said the service is currently not available. So I don't know whether they did a pilot of this and tested it before, putting it on a general platform, because it's a challenge. And now if they come and you have not paid, would they, cut off your line because you are owing and all those things?
Okay, Samson, can you take the question again so I'm clear on what you're asking?
My question is, we tried the app throughout the weekend, starting from Friday, because they wrote this over Thursday, but we tried it throughout the weekend and even yesterday. It couldn't work. We had to go to the center, and it still has an issue. If you try paying through mobile money too, you have the same issue. So my question is, was this, this payment platform, was it piloted, before it was rolled out to the general public? Because it seems to have an issue. And if they come and you are owing because you cannot pay through the mobile money or the platform that they have provided, are they going to cut your line?
Okay, yes, I get the question you're asking. For piloting, of course, the sources, and it's clear that the piloting was done. But let me leave that to Fred. The issue now is about those who are getting frustrated. They are not able to access the platform. And I recall somewhere last week or about 2 weeks ago, the platforms were not working. And in fact, that's the feedback you get when you go to some of the front desks of ECG and also try using the platform. So are you certain that this will work? And he's also asking about the piloting.
Well, I'm certain that it is working. If you had the time, probably you could have given it a try live. But what I would say is this: where there are any challenges, there is actually a team that's standing by and ready to resolve them. So if anyone has any challenge, the help desks in our various offices should be able to sort you out. As you are aware, this our journey to being to going cashless has been on for a while. We have been piloting for several months now, and so we are aware of what the difficulties are, and we've been able to largely resolve most of them. However, if anyone has any unique challenge, as I keep mentioning, we have help desks and persons trained in our various offices. So just interact with that.
Okay, but in this case, his concern is that if I'm not able to use the application, the platform, then my lights will be taken off by your officers who would come around, obviously.
Is it to pay for it? Because
yes, to make payment. So for instance, if you're a postpaid user, for instance, and you have your bill, now you cannot pay physically, correct? You need to do that through the application or to use the bank. He's saying that most of your application centers are down. That's his feedback as of last week. So in that case, you're going to take away his power, correct?
So, Blessed, what's happening with that? So this hasn't actually changed any of how customers interact with us. Basically, what's happening now is that before, would you have come to our office with cash to pay? Now we are saying if you come, we are taking Momo instead of cash. Now, beyond the app, we have the short code, which is *226#, and all these platforms are working. So if for any particular instance, let's say the network has a challenge, I don't know how that may explain why one would not want to pay his or her bill, because like I said, even when on your phone you're not able to use any of these platforms, you come to our office, our staff would take you through, send you a prompt to authorize, and then you'll be able to do the payment from your phone. So it shouldn't be a challenge. Yes, we are working with the telcos on this, so it's possible that at some particular time there may be some telecom challenges, but even then our staff are trained to be able to help you through with whatever difficulties you have.
And for those who do not want to pay the e-levy?
Interestingly, with this app, the good news is that you only pay us for the amount you owe. So
really? That's amazing. Without the e-levy?
Yeah, that's actually one good news.
Right. Yes. Okay. Thank you for saving us 1%. That's fine. Fred Mabel Johnson, thanks for joining us here on the Joy News channel. Grateful. He's the PRO for the ECG in the Accra West region. Let's talk about